brisk 43 in here, 30 degrees outside. Not the weather I was anticipating in Beaufort, but it does warm up during the day, which is nice. So we get to start out with a little bit of a cold plunge, shock the body, and then move on. So today I bring you two thoughts that I had a chance to meditate on this morning. Both come out of the Stoic tradition, and both look at the way that we explore our lives and often create our own problems. So the first comes from Marcus Aurelius, and it says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And this ties into what I talked about yesterday, that same idea of having a new sun every day, that we never know what we're going to face. And we gain strength when we realize we don't control that, but we control how we react to that. And by changing that reaction, we have the ability to change the outcome. And that understanding of control in our lives is an important piece to finding purpose, to increasing our performance, and to finding better satisfaction with the way our life goes. Now, connected to that is, from Seneca, the mind, anxious over the future, will come to grief over things at hand. And this one falls in very similar, that oftentimes we create issues with good things that are happening now because we can't stop worrying about what the future is going to hold. And when we come to the realization that if we tackle and confront things in our world today, oftentimes things we worried about in the future won't even come to fruition. We can deal with things when they're small in the present, rather than waiting for them to culminate in something huge in the future. So, map out your day, figure out a good plan of attack, and if you deal with things in the present, you have a good shot of not having to deal with some of those same issues in the future. That you can tackle them when they're smaller to make life go a little bit more smoothly. So that's kind of where things are. You know, the idea of worrying about things, I'm reminded of a Joseph Goldstein quote where Dan Harris talked to him about this idea of going to a meditation retreat is wonderful until you get in the real world and you have to apply it into the real world. And he said, you know, there's genuine things I have to worry about, like, what if I miss my flight? What am I going to do with my next appointment? And Joseph Goldstein gave him a wonderful answer that said, the first, maybe even the second and the third time that you worry about catching your flight, that's healthy because it helps you make a plan to catch it. But when you get into the 17th and 18th time about worrying about something, is it really productive anymore? And oftentimes, and I know I can be guilty of this, if I get anxious about something, I'll avoid it. And in avoiding it, I make the issue worse when the time comes that I do have to deal with it. So as always, my friends, find something today to be grateful for. Have a wonderful day. Make the most of every opportunity you have before you. Take care.